The Huey Cam. Featuring the best of Lamont and Tonelli on 107.7 The Bone.
Paul, very excited. We have a very special guest in the studio.
Yeah, how about that? Kevin Nealon from Saturday Night Live fame and currently on Weeds on Showtime.
Yeah.
How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing great. Have you seen Weeds yet?
No.
I have seen Weeds. It is a great show.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Well,
Yeah.
that's a lot. So here's what I hear a lot. You know, when I was on Saturday Night Live, I had a lot of people say, "Yeah, we don't stay up that late." And now I'm on a series on Showtime. Yeah, we don't get Showtime.
Hold it. Who doesn't get Showtime nowadays?
A lot of people don't get Showtime.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what they're telling you.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me. But it's a great series, and I'm having fun doing it. We start a third season on Monday. We start taping, and it'll probably start airing beginning of August. So it's good, and it's, the demographics are good. I'll begin them all, and this kid will come up to me and say, "Hey, dude, we love your show, man. Weeds, it's kicks, man, it's kick." Then I'll go around the corner, there'll be like 4 7-year-old ladies, and they go, "Honey, we love your show."
Nice.
You know, and it's pretty controversial. And
I was going to say, now with the show Weeds, are you meeting people who smoke a lot of dope?
Yes. And they assume that I want to go out and smoke dope with them after a show, But it's not like that. It's not like it's like it's Sex in the City. I wonder if they had people come up to them afterwards. "Hey, man, you want to go fool around?"
And while I've missed Weeds, I do remember you as, if I remember right, 1987 in Roxanne, you were drunk guy number 2.
Drunk number 2.
Come on.
Right. Yeah. Me and Rich Scheidner. Rich Scheidner was drunk number 1. I auditioned for drunk number 1, but I can only get drunk number 2. Yeah. Yep. That was it. That was fun. And Steve Martin, I've always been a fan of his. And when he hosted Saturday Night Live, that was it for me.
Yeah.
And James Taylor, I was a fan of James Taylor. So those guys both were on together, and I was like in heaven. You know what I mean?
Did you go and do anything for James Taylor, like drunk number 2 at his show?
No. Actually, I did do something for him. I actually
Really?
hosted a show that he had on A&E, the A&E network, I think it was.
Really?
It was called Live by Request. People would call in, and we were on, and I was the host, and it was fantastic. It was like my dream come true.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
So now, Saturday Night Live, you brought up Saturday Night Live. Do you ever see any of the guys that you used to do Saturday Night Live with and perform with?
Oh, yeah, I see a lot of them. I see Dana Carvey all the time. I talk to him a lot. Adam Sandler. Sandler's been good. Sandler's been doing a lot, put me in some of his movies, But it's getting to the... it's getting embarrassing because they're usually humiliating parts. You know what I mean? I was in Happy Gilmore. That was cool.
Right,
I
great
played
movie.
A psychic, kind of a spiritual advisor on the golf green. But then little Nicky came along, and he wanted me to play the gatekeeper of hell, and I had breasts on my head. Harvey Keitel cast a spell on me, and I had to glue these breasts, and it was a little humiliating, And then the next movie was Anger Management. I had to play as gay lawyer, and then there was a pilot that he did where it never aired, but it was with 2 comedians, and he calls me, he goes, "Hey, Nealon, I wonder if you play you play yourself in this pilot, but you don't have genitalia, you just have a mound like a Ken doll. You want to do that?" I said, "Sure, whatever." But you're playing yourself though. Okay, all right. And luckily that never aired. But now whenever he calls for a movie, I kind of like avoid the phone call.
So he's kind of dicking with you, so I'll get Nealon to do this.
Yeah. How can I embarrass Nealon? Let me see. That's the only reason he does movies, I think, to embarrass me. Is it Sandler? I'm not here.
Hey, another thing I saw, what is the deal with all the wiretapping? You were wiretapped?
I was wiretapped, not only once, but apparently by several different companies.
Really?
Well, one of them was the Pelicano case, which was pretty high profile. That's
The private investigator?
Yeah, the private investigator from Los Angeles. And it was the weirdest thing, because I opened up the New York Times, and here's my picture between Stallone and some other high-profile person, And I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of strange.
Now, why was he tapping your phone?
Good question. I think there was probably a lawsuit going on between a friend of mine and some lawyer, and because I would call this friend.
Yeah.
They thought maybe they could tap me and for something. I don't know. I have no idea.
But now the weird thing is Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus was tapping your phone?
Allegedly they were, yeah. That was like in the
about?
80s or 90s. Well, at the time I was doing some animal activism work, and we were outside protesting Ringling Brothers. for their abuse of animals, because they take these animals. Everybody grows up loving the circus, but you don't really know what's going on with the animals behind the scenes. These elephants that are so, they're sentient creatures, and they should be free, but they're chained up and they're broken down and they're hauled on trains all over the country, and they're on chains pretty much all day except for an hour or two when they're performing. So it's kind of inhumane. So anyway, we were protesting that outside, and I did that, I think, one time. And then like a year later, I heard that my phone was tapped. And I got to tell you, sometimes I'd be on my phone at that time, and I would hear like little taps. And kiddingly, I'd say, "Ooh, sounds like our phone's being tapped. Let's be careful."
8:51. Kevin Nealon is here. Don't budge from your radio.
Lamont and Tonelli, weekday mornings 5 to 10 on 107.7 The Bone.